Joe watches Beck from a distance while she's locked in the cage. He tells her he will keep her there until she sees the truth, and then they will move past everything. Beck insists that Joe didn't do all those things, but Joe confesses everything and leaves the basement. Using Beck's phone, he texts her friends, trying not to raise suspicion. When Joe returns home, he is brutally beaten by his neighbor Ron. Later, he goes back to Beck and explains why he killed Peach and Benji. Hearing all of this, Beck has a nervous breakdown. Joe brings a typewriter into the cage, saying it will help Beck become more creative. Paco shows up at the shop and tries to steal the gun. Joe gets angry but understands why. Then Joe goes to Beck's friends and tells them he hasn't heard from her. He convinces them they had a fight because Beck cheated on him. The friends believe his story completely. Joe returns to talk with Beck. She tries to persuade him to go to the bathroom, but Joe notices her looking at the stairs and refuses. Beck has another breakdown, but after calming down, she realizes the only way out is to write a story that will impress Joe. Meanwhile, Joe uses Beck's phone to post fake updates on social media, keeping up appearances. A private investigator hired by Peach's family questions Joe about her death. Joe dodges the questions, but the PI remains suspicious. Paco attacks Ron from behind and knocks him down, but Ron gets up and chases him. Joe arrives just in time and understands what's happening. Before Ron can catch Paco, Joe kills him. He hides Ron's body in his car trunk and reassures Paco, telling him Ron will never hurt them again. This becomes their secret. Back at the shop, Joe finds Beck writing. He reads her story, which is actually an escape plan. In it, Joe clears his name and pins everything on Dr. Nikki. Beck convinces Joe they can run away together and start a new life. Joe opens the cage. As they kiss, Beck stabs him with a typewriter key and locks him inside the cage. She unleashes her hatred toward him and tries to escape, but the door is locked. Just then, Paco arrives at the shop and hears her cries. Beck begs for help and explains everything, but Paco, grateful to Joe for what he's done for him, walks away. When Beck returns, Joe is outside. He had a spare key. Beck hits him with a hammer, takes his key, and almost escapes. But Joe catches her before she can open the door. Joe later publishes Beck's story and frames Dr. Nikki. He buries Beck's body, along with the evidence, in Nikki's yard. The police arrest Nikki, clearing Joe of all suspicion. Paco moves away with his mother to another city. Joe believes it's all over, until Candace walks into the shop. She's alive, and she has come back.